That is great. Thank you, guys. I crawled out of my hovel for this, so I already forgot to take that off. And would you look at that? It's like modern age stripping. I can be a real asshole, is the moral of the story. Yeah, I'll either act like I don't know someone. I got to cheer for that. Thank you so much. Or I'll act like we've never met. I remember one time I was getting lunch with some folks a few years ago, and a girl orders a Coke, and I stopped the waiter and I say, how about we make that a Diet Coke? Yeah. No, I thought I was hilarious. She canceled her whole order and got a salad and a water. Oh, it's true. I know. It's all right. We're dear friends now. I talked to her on the phone in April. On the flip side of that, someone texted me one night that they were locked out of their dorm and if they could sleep over in mine. Completely oblivious. I call facilities to their room thinking I'm doing the right thing. And they show up to her dorm to find her inside and mad as hell. Yeah, we're not as close. I haven't talked to her since April. Trying to do something nice for someone can be awkward, but infinitely worse is navigating someone doing something nice for you. Say, for instance, your friend wants to buy you dinner on your birthday, right? But the order is messed up bad. What now? Do you tell them? Did you tell them, Maddie?
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't know if I could. You got more resolve than I. But even if you do tell them, right? They still want to get you dinner. But what do now? They hand you some cash, they jot down their credit card number, and cut you a check. The whole time you're saying, you really don't have to do that. And they're starting to think, maybe I really don't have to do that. But you still want dinner, so you mumble, you could Venmo me $20. And now they're mad, and you're hungry, and you kiss, and how can you be friends after that? I really do try to be considerate, though. I stand on the edge of all group pictures in case I wrong someone and they need to cut me out. Yeah. And considering divorce is imminent, I always make sure I have enough delicate, expensive, and breakable objects in my house that my wife could throw at me in fits of rage. You can't get a tax break for charity like that. I fix self-esteem. I think a lot of you could benefit from that. You're as attractive as your friends. So if your friends are hot, you're hot. And if your friends are ugly, they're not really your friends. Yeah. Remember, I was walking in Piedmont Park a couple summers ago, and this black man comes up to me and just stops. Race is important here because he turns out to be a barber. He walks up to me, stops, and starts laughing so hard he's crying. And while wiping actual tears from his eyes, he hands me his business card and tells me I need to get my hair cut by him. At the same time, a white girl is walking by, and he says, what do you think of him? And she says, all right, for a black guy. Obviously, I needed a haircut. It's true. I got a haircut a couple days ago because I wanted physical touch. I'd rather pay $17 for it than ask. At the Supercuts a half mile from my house, my stylist was an amazing woman named Jasmine, and it sucks that I'll never be able to see her again. Trey Songz came on the radio, and I said it's awful that he shot Megan. Mistake one, because he's one of the last good guys in R&B. Number two, yeah, Tory Lanez shot her, but that's not the issue. Jasmine told me, according to Tory's new album, Megan had her back turned. So how does she know it was him who pulled the trigger? Jasmine also said that if it was him, he's wrong for that. The real problem, she said, is that Trey Songz isn't the only good guy still doing R&B right, because Chris Brown is still making music. I'm a Rihanna fan. I told her that. No, sir. She said it's been 10 years and we can't keep holding that over his head. They were both yelling at each other in a moving car. They couldn't just get out. And what's worse is she spat on him. Jasmine asked me what I would do if she spat on me right there. I kept my mouth shut, so I guess that meant I would beat her ass right there in the Supercuts and then make an album about it. The biggest reason we can't hate Chris Brown, per Jasmine, is that successful women are vindictive, which is great news for my pending litigation against Belinda Gates. I also asked her about the pictures of Rihanna after the beating, and she said Chris had no right to go that hard. The whole time she's talking, her hand is resting on my head, so I'm happy. Physical touch. But Jasmine's getting heated and takes her hand off me. And now I'm upset. And I ask Jasmine to spit on me, and she ends the haircut early. Now I can't go to the only barbershop within walking distance of my house because Megan the Stallion had her back turned.
Oh yeah, we're talking about haircuts. All right, that's a good enough transition to talking about sex. Yeah, I know, fundamental to the Jewish male sexual experience is both hair and cutting. So it works out. Yeah. I heard that the best way to practice fingering is to induce vomit. So you can try that out any time. I also spoke at a conference recently about the male gaze. I got so nervous I pictured everyone naked. I like that one. That one could be in a women's magazine for like edgy teens, I don't know. You guys like porn though. That's a statement. I recently watched a porno, and it was so good that I learned a new word. The title was Two Co-eds Cogitate in Dorm. I looked it up. Cogitate means to think deeply about something. Two college students in their dorm thinking deeply. So I click on the video and imagine my surprise. That's true. Now maybe they meant copulate, or maybe some of us are kinesthetic learners. I've never watched Japanese hentai.
Really?
We got one non-believer. It's because I've watched it with him. No, but imagine liking an art style so much that you watch porn in it. Like stop motion, minimalism. Maybe that strikes a chord with some of you. I doubt Japanese people spend too much time searching for American 3D animated motion graphics porn. It's a real trade deficit, though. My friend's landscaper, I was talking to my friend's landscaper, Ben. He's been divorced twice, and he says he's already done everything in his life. He's jet skied, tied to a helicopter, climbed mountains. And I asked him how he did all this, and he said, well, my dad died. Yeah. So he's already done everything, and he doesn't want to waste time looking for a new wife. So he orders one from Japan. He has a mail-order bride from Japan, and only great things to say about her. Good cook, funny, pretty. Obviously, I can't meet her because she doesn't leave the house. But he tells me I shouldn't waste my time and might as well just go on the internet and get myself a wife from Japan. Here's the thing. All across East Asia, and especially in Japan, populations are decreasing. Nobody's having kids. They're selecting against themselves. And something's going on over there that we don't know about. And I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to stay away. Right? It would be denying Japan sovereignty if we didn't just let them die off. So no, I won't be getting a mail-order bride because before I choose what woman I'm going to buy, unlike some people, I look at the data. And according to my metrics, the best country for a bride is by far South Sudan. Incredible birth rate. My dad put us in mountain bike school when I was 13. You guys have dads? Yeah! I'd love to meet him. I'd love to meet him. My mountain biking teacher never drank coffee and started every morning with a shower to wake up. I remember these things because the next week I was in Kung Fu camp. And my white sensei drank 4 cups of coffee a day and disappeared for 30 minutes at a time delivering pizzas. I thought Kung Fu was sick. I even gave a kid a bloody nose. He lives up the street from me. And I know one of these days he'll turn up and I'll have to put him away for good. Yeah. You know when people tell you that hiking downhill is harder because it engages the quads? It's not. No, seriously, think about that next time you're walking downhill, how everything can be worse. And next time you're walking uphill, think about how people only ever lie and serve themselves and can never be relied on for anything. Yeah. Are you selfish?
Yeah,
Sometimes? I mean, I can tell you're kind of, I'm doing a thing up here, cameras and all. If you think what you have to say is so important, that's fine. Yeah, but it is for charity, so I might get back to it. Appreciate that, though. Yeah. Sometimes I leave the seat up to seem more masculine. Resourceful, in my mind, is cutting your fingernails on the toilet. A list of people who haven't aged well. Juice WRLD. Avicii. Stephen Hawking. Anthony Bourdain still managed to pull it off. What I learned in college is how long other people brush their teeth for. Longer than I. Longer than I. Sometimes I'll fantasize about getting complimented and then get complimented and feel like shit. So recently I've been going around in a Honda Fit, but it doesn't seem like more women want to have sex with me. They'll get in the car and there'll be something in the passenger seat and, oh, you can just put that in the, you can just throw it out the window.
I cured ballots after the presidential election. One of them was at an apartment complex in Inman Park with a small courtyard in the middle. I went through the courtyard on my way in and saw a bunch of blue plastic pools like the ones that you put in your backyard during the summer. And after curing the ballot Grey's Anatomy style, I left the same way. And this dude shouts to me, "You think you're cool? You think you're classy? You think you're slick?" Nah. Slick guys got koi fish. So I look in one of the tanks, and inside's about a dozen koi fish swimming around in hose water. He tells me that women love koi fish. Women love men who have koi fish. And he tells me, "You're gonna buy a koi fish right now." I say, "No, the big thing is I don't have time for a koi fish." But I promise him that if Joe Biden wins the election, I will buy some koi fish from him. So a few weeks after that, I'm curing ballots for the Senate runoff. One of them is at an apartment complex in Inman Park with a small courtyard in the middle. He recognizes me instantly. He said, "We got a new president. You're getting some new fish." I say, "No, I can't even do that." He said, "You're getting some new fish." So I buy 4. I don't have a tank or anything, and he wasn't selling them, so I pay him, and he just immediately releases all 4 of them into the pond 10 feet away. And now I bring women to go see Nancy and Joe and Kamala and Ella Emhoff when I feel like closing the deal.
The state slogan, "Virginia is for lovers," was adopted 2 years after the state lost Loving versus Virginia in 1967. So after failing to ban interracial marriage, they decided Virginia is for lovers. Yeah. I switched schools in 8th grade. I was one of only 2 new students. The first class I went to was science, and at some point, I went outside to go to the bathroom, and when I got out there, sitting on the water fountain was a small boy. Small water fountain boy, sitting on the fountain. I was in a meet new people mood, so I say, "What's your name, man?" And his name's Neil. And when I go into the bathroom, there he is sitting in the urinal. Yeah. When I get back to class, I whisper to the guy next to me, "Hey, there was a dude sitting on the water fountain out there." He's like, "Oh yeah, Neil." And that's how I learned everyone brought water bottles to school. There was another kid, Alejandro. We were friends in high school, kind of. Freshman year, he would walk around doing butterfly knife tricks with his pen. He would come up behind me and tell me how defenseless I looked, how easily he could incapacitate me. So we were friends. One time I saw him walking down the hall, and he wasn't spinning the pen, so I knew something was wrong. Really worried, he comes up to me and asks to please use my calculator. He'll give it right back. So 4 years later, he's got me pinned in a corner, rummaging through his backpack. I figure he's finally going to incapacitate me. But instead, he pulls the calculator out. The screen is smashed to hell. Lots of the keys are gone. And I ask him, "Why are you giving this back to me?" And he's completely baffled. He's like, "I used it, now I'm giving it back." But I have 1 statistics test left in the year, and I cracked that bad boy out on it in the first question. Turns out he's jailbroken it and torrented Pokemon onto the calculator. Teacher notices something's going on and starts walking over to me, and I'm already making excuses like, I must have clicked a pop-up on this thing. I don't even speak Japanese. But I managed to close out a Pokemon by the time he gets over to me. And the last entry on the calculator just reads, boobs. Nice. These calculators have keyboards. He could have written any word he wanted. But I won't deny the power that it had. Not only did my teacher take my test, not only did he, throw detention at me, but he actually invited me to have a three-way with him and his wife that weekend. Mind you, they have a young son. I couldn't make it. Alejandro paralyzed me from the waist down. And I spent the next 2 weeks learning how to walk again. I got a great college essay out of it. Part of my closet is just clothes I never returned because I don't have the stamina. About once a year, I gather it all up and take it to the shelter. And the person sorting through it will find the original receipt from when I bought it. Be like, do you want to keep this? And I've been so out of it. I know for a fact that one of these days I'm going to go to the thrift store attached to the shelter and buy something that I donated. Oh, this looks great. Yeah, I mean, I can't wear anything until I've paid for it twice. It's what I do with leather when I get it new. I'll just buy it and then sell it to the shelter and buy it right back. And it's okay, because I got it secondhand. Yeah. So, I have IBS. Can I get some applause for that? Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much. All right. Well, because of this, I know I would make for a horrible Food Network judge. Someone brings the plate to me, like, is there lactose in this? Any dense breads? Take one bite and have to go straight to the bathroom anyway. Tim Allen follows me in there. Chef Zach's, what did you think of the duck confit? Camera cuts to me, I'm just sitting on the toilet cutting my nails. I could tell you about the fastest mile I ever ran. Yeah. This is the same statistics class, and I had to eat burgers. And, you know how you do that. Well, no, the project I chose for the end of it is I wanted to see if there was a significant relationship between my mile time when I didn't eat a Big Mac from McDonald's and when I did eat a Big Mac from McDonald's 5 minutes before running it. And so one day, they're doing a Red Cross blood drive. Give a little blood, lighten the head. And I decide this would be the perfect time to eat a Big Mac and run a mile. So that's exactly what I do. I get a Big Mac, house it, starved. Any of you guys ever drank after giving blood, by the way?
Yes.
I think that's the easiest way to save money.
Uh-huh.
I really do. Because not only are you making money giving the blood, you are saving money on however much you have to drink. That's economics 101. I don't know what the supply curve is there, but it's great. And so I get, I pound the Big Mac, go down to the track. It's been pouring rain, bust my ass a few times. I only run 2 laps because I end up puking. But what I did is I just multiplied that by 2. And it was a 6:30. So that's the fastest fucking mile I've ever run. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm upset that money still can't buy everything. Like, what if at a certain income level, you can start saying the N-word? I'm not saying you should be able to buy yourself into a black person. A lot of white celebrities prove you can do that for free. But racism is really out of hand when even white people, just pretending to be black people, are treated like shit. Let's see.
Tell us about the books. What's going on with this? Like, what are you doing?
I'm going to give that to the Atlanta Public Library. That's not fucking funny now, is it? Those people need those books, Charlie.
I know, I'm not.
Christmas can't be good for everyone, man.
For the video, you might want it.
For the video. Thank you to those who donated books today. With a smile. See, we got any more? How's college, man? I'm actually taking a year off. It's been great. Well, no, you clap, but what they told me is if you don't, you're not enrolled in the school anymore. Eek, right? I know. No, but I love it when things just have their way with me. You know, I like being told what to do. So it's like, what they didn't even know is they're just playing into my kinks. Yeah. It was like when I was sitting in the ER and they're like, we can either bring a panel of lawyers here and declare you criminally insane, or you can sign this piece of paper. And I was like, just keep talking to me, baby. Yeah. That's really all I need. Yeah. Half of you don't even know the context for that, which makes it so much better. I know one day I'll be led to drugs or...
One day.
Jesus. Jesus. No, I know. It's because the first time that she did marijuana, this is a good one. We were in Montreal, Canada. Right? It's legal up there. I'm not getting anyone incarcerated. I know. No, but we're in Montreal. And her and my mom, you know, they're liberal white women, so they're like, of course I love trying new things. This is all so exciting. And like, you know, they go up to a dispensary like, and this is what the future looks like. This is what it looks like. And so they, so they get like a whole pack of gummy bear edibles, and each of them takes like, they're like, do you feel that? And so they have like not even half each, throw away the rest of the one, and then there's just essentially a whole pack of them left. And they're about to go back to the United States. And, you know, I try to be a socially conscious guy. I don't like waste. And she thought she had hidden them well enough, but I find them under her purse in the closet and eat 4 edibles. Exactly 2 hours before we get to the Montreal airport. We get in the car. I have to sit in the middle between the two of them, which is good because I wouldn't be able to like support. I don't think I had the core strength. Something about the neurons weren't, like the synapses weren't firing. And we get up to a Tim Hortons. So you've never been to those. Best muffins in the world. I'll tell you that much. I wanted to get one of those, but what I ended up saying was quesadilla. Yeah. By some stroke of Canadian luck, they had just introduced a breakfast quesadilla. And it was vile. I loved it, though. 2 hours later, we arrived at the airport. Parents none the wiser. Start going through customs, and, you know, this very burly Canadian customs officer asked me, do you have your passport? I'm like, yeah, I have my passport. He's like, do you have your passport? I'm like, yeah, I have it. I have it. Why? He's like, do you have your passport? I'm like, yeah. And then my mom has to go into my bag, gets out my passport, hands it to the dude. He's still just looking at me. Takes him like a full 2 minutes of evaluation. He's still looking at me as he puts the stamp down on it. And then he gave me like a bottle of maple syrup, a kiss on the mouth. It was all great. It was awesome.
Nobody talks about STDs that aren't STDs. Like sleeping with someone, then you have to read their screenplay or watch their favorite YouTube comedian. I'm not having sex with anyone who listens to Ariana Grande because that shit's contagious. I can bring a condom, but she's still gonna pretend I'm Mac Miller the whole time.
Yeah, my brother wants to do porn.
My dad doesn't like that.
What a drag. Which is great because it's never been more of a democratized market, right? Like, I could download one app and suddenly I'm a porn star. You know, all it really takes is an OnlyFans these days. I guess the key is, like, it's not really about the creator. It's about, like, finding who would be an interested market. But I think that's pretty easy, for him and I at least, because we have, like, kind of this Zach's Brothers coda a little bit. Because we'll go to new places, family gatherings especially, and, you know, these, like, and they always wanted to introduce us to, like, our cousins and whatever, and they're, like, about our age. And my dad will be like, oh, this is your second cousin, Sasher. And this is Joshua. They're from Metairie. And I great. But then something amazing happens every single time. Their grandparents, the cousins' grandparents, who I am not at all related to, light up. I don't know what it is about him especially. But the Zach's Boys line is, you may like me, but your grandmother loves me. Yeah. I think the last wedding we went to, he danced with 4 separate women over the age of 80. No, I know. They haven't gotten it in years. What they don't know is they wouldn't get it with him either, but, you know, he's a kind enough man. And so that's why I think he has kind of a trapped market if he ever wanted an OnlyFans. They have to figure out how to get the app, how to download it, how to watch, how to link a PayPal account, this, that, and the other. But I guarantee there is...
Hey, bud.
What is that noise?
Just like let go of the camera. Let it go.
Oh.
Just drop the cord button.
I like playing with it. That's why I'm still up here. That and unbridled attention.
To this day, my mom still takes out the strings inside my sweatshirt hoods because she worries that I might trip and it'll get snagged and I might choke myself out on accident. So I never really need to wonder why I have an anxiety disorder.
I'm a heartbreaker. Make my therapist cry. Yeah. Those are the times I have been through like 5 or 6 therapists. Those are the first couple. And it's mostly because I just wouldn't say anything to them. And then I would like, I don't even know what. I would just come in after like 2 weeks of being like, yeah, I'm fine. My mom would be like, she'd like go and talk to them before I get in there. He's like, we found him like hitting his head against the door. we just want you to bring this up. And I'd walk in there and he'd be like, I heard you were hitting your head against the door. And then I would just start hitting my head against the door. And I don't blame them. There's not much. They don't really train you for that. You know, I guess you just have to lean into it. But I always had like the younger ones. I don't know why. And I guess that was probably their first go around because I noticed the first couple of times I'd go in, their walls would be not at all decorated, and they would like start talking with me. And after like a few months, they would have a bunch of like children's drawings up there. But I would know that I'm the only kid that they talk to, and they don't have children. So they just thought that would make me more comfortable in their office. But then they'd all just be like staring at me, and you know. Then one day I just decided to like Google like children. I don't know what the fuck it was, like Crayola, some shit. Who knows? And like half of them were the first page on the on images. Hey, you know, it shows they care, right? Yeah. This is my last story. It's a short one. Thank you in advance. So I was picking up takeout from Woody's Cheesesteaks. It's a great spot. And the guy in line in front of me goes up to the window and says, "Where's my food? I'm waiting for half an hour." The employee behind the counter just goes, "I don't know." It's like, "You don't know where my cheesesteak is?" "Well, we don't hide them." Mind you, they have like one thing on the menu here. I've been waiting here for 30 minutes, completely deadpan. And what has that accomplished? Can I get my money back? And the employee like rummages around, grabs any sandwich, is just like, "Oh, you're the guy who had the cheesesteak." Thank you guys so much. It's been very fun.
I still think you should have used my joke. I don't know how you would have incorporated it anywhere, but I think the idea of someone having to bathe in a cranberry bog because their UTI is so bad, I think that's funny. I don't know where it goes, but it's funny.